I woke up in a trashy romance novel on the day of my divorce. Right before I was about to sign the papers, glowing, floating text boxes appeared in my vision. Get ready for the drama. Groveling arc incoming. I can't wait to watch this jerk refuse to sign, then crumble and beg the heroine for forgiveness. He's going to refuse, right? This is the moment he realizes she was framed, isn't it? I glanced at the comments, smirked, and signed the papers without hesitation. I wasn't the real main character. Why on earth would I waste my life on a groveling redemption arc? Apparently, I'd been transmigrated into the body of Damian Blackwood, the male lead of a melodramatic, cliché-ridden story called The CEO's Captive Heart. You know the type. Cold, cruel, oblivious to the truth, and destined to grovel for the woman he tormented. A classic scumbag CEO. And here I was at City Hall, about to finalize my divorce. The woman beside me was stunning, but her face was pale, almost lifeless. That was Evelyn, my wife, though technically only for the next 5 minutes. According to the book, we'd been married 3 years. During that time, Damien had been a textbook nightmare, neglectful, humiliating, accusing her of infidelity, even causing her a miscarriage. Pure garbage. Of course, beneath all that, I was madly in love with her. My cruelty was apparently the result of manipulation by some scheming ex, and spurred on by Evelyn's uncomfortably close male best friend. The plot was painfully simple. The hero acts like a villain, the heroine suffers, the hero has a sudden epiphany, and then comes the endless groveling. The original Damien ends up crippled, broke, and nearly dead. And the kicker? Evelyn still refuses to forgive him. All that suffering completely pointless. A total tragedy. As I thought this over, more floating text boxes appeared, cutting across my view. The groveling starts now. Wake up, Damien. Look at everything Evelyn sacrificed. If you sign, it's all over. I bet $50 he's about to throw the papers and yell, I don't agree. Classic. Live chat comments. Of course. They were the audience, peeking in from some other dimension, eager to see me squirm, waiting for the iconic scene where I crawl back on my hands and knees. I almost laughed. A redemption arc? Not my problem. I wasn't Damien. Why should I pay for some fictional jerk's mistakes? Broken leg, bankruptcy, begging for forgiveness? No thanks. Freedom sounded far more appealing. Instinctively, I knew I had to escape the story.
Right now.
The clerk slid the divorce papers across the table, pointing to the signature line. Evelyn didn't look at me. Her eyes were fixed on the table, empty, as if she were already trying to disappear from this life. Her pen moved quickly, forcefully, signing her copy like a prisoner marking a release. I picked up the pen. Comments flooded my vision. His expression is so cold. Will he sign? No way. He's faking. Something's about to explode. Screen recording ready for the iconic moment. I ignored them. I touched the pen to the paper. Damian Blackwood. My signature was clean, deliberate, confident. No hesitation, no tremor. I put the pen down and handed the papers back. Done, I said lightly. The hall went silent except for the hum of the air conditioning. The clerk stared at me, then at Evelyn, clearly unprepared for such a calm, unceremonious divorce, especially from a CEO infamous for being obsessively in love with his wife. Evelyn had finished signing too. Finally, she looked up. The vacant emptiness was gone, replaced by something else. Shock. Total, jaw-dropping disbelief. The comments section erupted. What? He signed? He actually signed? This isn't in the script, director. Where's the dramatic ripping up of papers scene? And why groveling arc? Where is it? I demand a refund. The clerk, unfazed by the chaos, finished processing the paperwork. Moments later, 2 crimson booklets landed on the table. Our divorce certificates. It was over. I was free, both legally and emotionally. I stood, stretched, and glanced at Evelyn once. She was still sitting, staring at her certificate like it had burned a mark into her hand. I didn't bother looking again. I turned and walked out. My steps were long and brisk, eager to put this place and its melodrama behind me. The live comments went wild. He just left? No way. He didn't even look back. My redemption arc. The groveling. Did the writer just quit? Damien, get back here. Get on your knees. Wait, does he actually look relieved? Sunlight hit me as I stepped outside. The air smelled cleaner, fresher. A black luxury sedan waited curbside. I slid into the plush leather seat, letting it swallow the tension from my body. "Back to the office, Mr. Blackwood?" the driver asked. "Yes," I replied, leaning back. My head still throbbed faintly, but the weight in my chest was gone.
Light.
I felt light. The car merged into traffic, leaving City Hall behind.
My phone buzzed.
The name on the screen made my stomach turn. Vivian. The other woman. The manipulative schemer who had framed Evelyn and ruined everything. The whole catalyst for the supposed groveling arc. Comments erupted again. "Here she comes. She's calling to comfort him. Damien's going to cry on her shoulder now. Leave our Evelyn alone. You trashy couple." I hit decline, then blocked her number. Instantly, the world felt 50% cleaner. Another explosion in the comments.
Oh.
He hung up.
And blocked her?
Holy crap. What kind of plot twist is this? This isn't how the story goes. Damien snapped out of it. Wait, does he know? Does he know Vivian framed Evelyn? So, what if he knows? It's too late. Scumbag. The driver glanced at me through the rearview mirror. "Sir, that was Miss Sterling. Don't ever say her name again," I said quietly, icily. "Yes, Mr. Blackwood," he replied immediately. My phone rang again, this time my assistant. I answered. "Mr. Blackwood, is everything finalized?" His tone was careful.
"Yes."
"It's done. Should I arrange a settlement for Miss Lynn?" "Not a single cent, prenup only." I remembered the prenup clearly. Evelyn had signed it. She left with nothing. The original Damien had forced the abortion and kicked her out penniless because Vivian convinced him the child wasn't his. Pack her things. Throw them out. Don't send anything to her. Get the keys back. A strangled noise came from the assistant. "Understood, sir. And what about your father? He's fond of her, after all." "I'll handle him. Now head back to the office. I want all department heads in the conference room in 1 hour. Latest financials and project statuses. Every single one. Anyone late can hand in their resignation." "Yes, Mr. Blackwood." Immediately, his voice snapped to efficiency. He hung up. Comments streamed past like wildfire. Is this a divorce or a scorched earth campaign?
Cold-blooded.
Evelyn wasted 3 years on this monster. Blocked Vivian. Kicked out Evelyn. Now going straight to work? What is happening? His business brain just kicked in? All about money now. The groveling arc has officially been obliterated. LMAO. I stormed into my office at Blackwood Corp, only to be ambushed by a cloud of perfume.
Vivian.
Her eyes were red, her voice syrupy. "Damien, why did you block me? What did I do wrong?" I sidestepped her. She almost toppled but caught herself at the last second. "Damien," she whimpered, a wounded confusion plastered across her face. I walked past her, sliding into my chair behind the desk. My gaze was cold steel. "Who let you in?" "My assistant. I heard about the divorce. I was worried about you." She inched closer. "Leave." Her eyes widened. "What?"
"Right now. Out."
"And don't ever set foot in this building again." Color drained from her face. "Security," I barked. The comments section exploded. "Oh, that's brutal. Treating the love of his life like this." "Vivian's face is priceless." Haha. Slap of the century. So satisfying. Did Damien skip his meds this morning? He's just mean to everyone now. 2 guards appeared. "Mr. Blackwood? Escort Miss Sterling out." Effective immediately, she may not enter without my explicit permission. I lowered my eyes to a file, ignoring her entirely. "Yes, sir." They turned to Vivian. "Miss Sterling, please." "Damien, you're a monster. I hate you," she screeched as they led her away. Silence finally fell. Comments kept flying. "He actually kicked her out. Savage. Main love interest demoted to extra? Plot shattered." I don't get it, but I'm shook. This isn't redemption. It's a total personality rewrite. Ignoring them, my phone rang. It was the family estate butler. My father demanded my immediate presence. Driving to the old Blackwood mansion, I entered to find my father seething on the sofa, and Evelyn, surprisingly, in the living room, methodically packing an open suitcase. She paused but didn't turn. My father slammed his hand on the armrest. "Insolent whelp. Explain yourself." "Father, see for yourself." "It's done," I said calmly. "She'll leave as soon as she finishes packing." "Leave?" He jumped up. "Who said she's leaving?" He marched to Evelyn, slamming the suitcase shut. Stop that right now. You're not going anywhere. Evelyn's hands froze midair. He spun toward me, finger pointed like a spear. You're leaving.
Damien.
I have no son this heartless, this blind. Comments erupted.
Go, Dad.
Put him in his place. Damien's terrified now. Time to beg. Breakdown incoming. My father softened, turning to Evelyn. Don't go. Damien has changed. I just learned he blocked that Vivian woman and banned her from the company. He still loves you. Seeing no reaction from me, his chest heaved in fury. Damien, if you go through with this divorce, get out of this family. The Blackwood fortune will have no heir named Damien. Evelyn is wonderful, and you've done nothing but torture her. Without her, you are nothing. He waited for me to crumble, to beg, to have the great epiphany the book demanded. I looked at him, then at Evelyn. She met my gaze, lips pressed thin. The room crackled with tension. I nodded, my voice calm. All right. My father froze. Evelyn blinked, just slightly, a flicker of something, shock, curiosity, crossing her face. The comments froze, then exploded. What did he just say? All right? That's it. Did he get the wrong script? He got disowned and said, all right? Damien's lost it. Completely lost it. Even Evelyn didn't see this coming. Plot twist of the century. He burned the groveling ark and pissed on the ashes, giving up family for divorce. I ignored them both, heading upstairs to pack. Freedom tasted sweet. Comments kept going. Giving up inheritance just to divorce. Iron-willed scumbag level. Max. Evelyn. I prepared for tragedy, and you give me this. My world is collapsing. Can't watch anymore. Evelyn stepped in front of me, blocking my path. Her expression flat. I'm the one who should leave. But the baby I lost, it was yours. Not Idris's. I never cheated. Stop your push-and-pull games. I'm not coming back. I squinted, lazy grin spreading. I'll personally drive you to the airport. Your words are music. By the way, corporate gala tonight, whatever you do, don't show. I really don't want to see you there. Her brow furrowed, anger flashing. I examined my nails. If you don't go, Idris won't go. Vivian isn't invited. Everything perfect. I'm begging you, stay away. She stared, baffled. I knew the scene in the book. At the gala, Damien would see Evelyn with Idris, go insane with jealousy, grab Vivian, kiss her, punch Idris, shove Evelyn away, and the groveling arc would finally begin. I wasn't playing by the script. Clean break. Everyone wins. Freedom felt too good. No chasing, no bowing, no melodrama. I wanted my life. My empire. My rules. Screw the groveling. Screw the cliches. But Evelyn, breaking from her usual meekness, lifted her chin, stubborn light in her eyes. I'm going. Who are you to stop me? Comments went berserk. Evelyn, rebellious phase activated. My ex-husband told me not to go to a party, so obviously I must. Damien versus Idris. Place your bets. Tonight is chaos. Damien about to break. I've read the book, Showdown incoming. If he doesn't suffer, I'll eat my shoes.
Idiots.
All of them. I ignored Evelyn. Ignored the comments. Headed straight back to the office. The conference room was packed. Every executive sat rigid, a thick folder in front of them. The air was tense, heavy with anticipation. They all knew I'd just finalized my divorce and were bracing for the storm. The old Damien had been a reckless tyrant who ran the company on whims and temper tantrums. I took the head seat. No preamble. Let's start, I said. Finance, you're up. The CFO jumped his feet, rattling numbers, revenue, profit, expenses, cash flow, fast, nervous. I listened, analyzing instantly. Previous life experience in finance meant I could spot padding, inconsistencies, and red flags from miles away. Stop. I pointed at the projected figures. Q3 marketing expenses. A 35% increase year over year. Explain. Sweat formed on the CFO's brow. Mr. Blackwood, that was for sponsorships and a celebrity endorsement campaign. Which celebrity? Where's the post-campaign report?
Roy?
Conversion rates. Each word landed like a hammer. Don't have it? Waste of money. Who approved this? You? His face went pale. It was recommended by Miss Vivian Sterling, former director. Mrs. Blackwood also supported it. Vivian. Evelyn. Again. Evelyn is no longer a director. She's divorced. Vivian Sterling. Who the hell gave her authority here? Silence. They all knew the old Damien would have done anything Vivian said. This is dereliction of duty. The responsible manager forfeits 3 months bonus. CFO, your year-end bonus is gone. Next time, clear your desk if you fail again. The CFO nearly collapsed. Yes, Mr. Blackwood. I'll investigate immediately. Next, I turned to project development. West End property. Why 2 months behind? The manager stammered excuses about permits and demolition delays. I cut through every excuse with pinpoint questions, demanding milestones, accountability, and solutions. Efficient, sharp, relentless. The room's mood shifted. Respect replaced fear. I didn't yell or threaten, yet I was far more intimidating than the old Damien. Comments shifted too. Whoa, he's actually working. Kinda terrifying. His questions are on point, hitting all weak spots. Same idiot CEO who threw tantrums and money around. Divorce unlocked his brain. Focus Damien is scary. And kind of hot. Traitors. Don't forget, he's the villain. Doesn't even care about Evelyn anymore. Barely says her name. 3 hours later, the meeting ended. The executives looked like survivors of a storm, exhausted, but respect now gleamed in their eyes. Meeting adjourned, I said. Solutions for every problem on my desk by noon tomorrow. Names, deadlines, action plans. Can't do it? I'll find someone who can. Yes, Mr. Blackwood, came the unified response. I bypassed my office, heading straight to my assistant. Find new apartment. Downtown. Top-tier security, maximum privacy. I move tonight. Anything useful from the mansion, pack it. The rest, discard. My lord, not returning to the mansion? Not my home. No desire to live with family now. Understood? Yes, sir. He scribbled furiously. One more thing. Change all passwords, locks, and security systems, especially at the mansion.
Total sweep.
No one enters my personal space without my permission. No one. Even your father, Evelyn, and Miss Sterling? Everyone, I said coldly. Yes, sir. Comments were scrambling. Moving out? Full separation? Lone wolf mode activated. Something big is about to happen. Corporate thriller, not tragic romance? Loving it. I returned to my office, the city's skyline glowing gold outside the windows. Comments floated past. Standing by the window, deep thoughts.
Regret.
He must regret not fighting for Evelyn. Betting $50, he's calling her. Classic scumbag move, pretending to be distant. I shook my head. Pathetic. Reaching into my pocket, I retrieved a USB and dialed my lawyer. Mr. Davis, I said. Set up a personal trust. All assets outside Blackwood Corp. Properties, stocks, investments. I am sole trustee and beneficiary. Firewall completely from the Blackwood estate. Silence. Then, serious voice. Understood, Mr. Blackwood. Documents ready for your signature by 10 a.m. tomorrow. Good. I hung up. Sunset melted into city lights. Comments froze for a moment. A trust? Sole beneficiary? Writing his own will. Planning to go it alone forever? Does Evelyn know he's locking away all his money? Groveling arc officially dead. Not playing the game at all. The gala shimmered under glittering crystal chandeliers. Conversation hummed like electricity through the room. I leaned against a pillar in the corner, glass of champagne in hand, casually scanning the crowd. As predicted, Evelyn had arrived, Idris Vance glued to her side with that infuriating smirk. She remained composed, though he hovered too close. Across the room, Vivian flitted from group to group, eyes darting toward me constantly. Comments lit up the invisible feed. The entire cast is here. Let the chaos begin. Idris looked smug. Evelyn, you can do better. Vivian's still fishing for attention. Shameless. Damien's brooding in the corner? Step up. Betting 5 minutes before Damien loses it. Punch Idris. Fight. Idris noticed me. Smirk intact, he slung an arm around Evelyn's waist and sauntered over. She stiffened but made no move to resist. Stopping in front of me, he raised his glass mockingly. Damien, heard about today. Congratulations on your newfound freedom. His gaze flicked to Evelyn. We're thrilled for you. Evelyn said nothing, eyes locked on me. Unreadable. Comments erupted. Idris is provoking a war. He's using Evelyn as a weapon. Damien's face is stone. Hell's coming. Vivian scuttled over, acting the concerned ex-Idris. Maybe now's not the time to provoke him. He sneered. Pain? Or stupidity, letting someone like Evelyn go. Vivian jumped in, shielding me. Watch your tone. You have no right. The comments went berserk. Villainous protecting the hero. Peak drama. Idris fans the flames. Vivian pours gasoline. Damien, tear them apart. Where's his meltdown? Out of character. I studied the three. The provocateur, the actress, the silent observer, a circus waiting for its moment. I smirked. If they were handing me a victory, who was I to refuse? Tapping my phone, I activated the ballroom's main display screen. Logos flickered and cut to a hidden camera feed. The comments froze, then erupted. The big screen? Hidden camera? Something huge is happening. This isn't in the book. The video showed Idris pouring a drink, grinning at Vivian. Bribing the doctor to declare Evelyn's pregnancy came from a previous conception while Damien was away. Flawless execution, he boasted. Vivian laughed, malicious. He deserved it. All he cared about was Evelyn. I wanted him to destroy his own child. Kick her out penniless. And you played your part perfectly. Idris clinked glasses with her. Evelyn will have nowhere to turn. Damien's lost everything. Father alienated, wife gone. The Blackwood Empire is ours for the taking. Vivian's gaze gleamed. Damien will be mine. Once he's broken, he'll crawl back, and I'll control everything. Silence fell across the ballroom. Idris froze, color draining. Vivian's tears vanished. She trembled. One look from me stopped her in her tracks. Evelyn, meanwhile, swayed. Wine glass slipped, shattered. Red liquid painted her white dress like blood. Her pupils widened, shock, disbelief, then a rising, cold fury. Comments exploded. HE dropped a nuke. Plot twist of the century. Idris and Vivian. Two-faced monsters. Evelyn. My heart. Damien. God mode activated. So that's why he divorced, blocked Vivian, and left home? Not a villain, playing the long game. Groveling arc transformed into revenge thriller. Evelyn's world shattered. Idris and Vivian looked terrified. The screen went dark. Silence blanketed the ballroom. I set my untouched champagne down, locking eyes with Evelyn. Pale, lost, hurt. Did you see that? I asked quietly, voice slicing through the quiet. Those you trusted, the men and women closest to you, they betrayed you. A cold, humorless smile. The child was mine. You never wronged me. They wronged you. And my gaze met hers. By suffering in silence, letting pride fester into resentment, you wronged yourself too. Without another word, I turned and walked away. Past stunned guests, past the still exploding comments, I left the gilded, glittering, rotten ballroom behind. Night air on my face. Behind me, Idris screaming, Vivian sobbing, Evelyn whispering brokenly. Freedom tasted bitter, sweet, and absolute. Comments still scrolled. HE killed them. From villain to legend. Now it's Evelyn's move. SIR Damien, do you need a loyal servant? Idris and Vivian socially executed. Damien, turn back. Evelyn needs you. The following morning, my lawyer called to confirm that all my assets had successfully been moved into the new trust. Minutes later, my father's voice came through the line. Damien, come back to the mansion. I know what happened last night. I invited Evelyn over. Apologize, make amends, and we can all be a family again. Comments erupted instantly. Why yes. Old man playing matchmaker. Evelyn's heart softening. Damien, go. Groveling arc cancelled. Remarriage arc activated. I let out a flat laugh. Go back where? To the Blackwood mansion? You're the same one who told me to get out yesterday, right? I assume my name has already been removed from the deed. The line went silent. Comments. Oof, lethal comeback. Damien holds grudges like a pro. Old man speechless. My anger yesterday, that was just, I'm your father.
You're my son.
Everything we have is yours. Come home. Make things right with Evelyn. I cut him off. You're hilarious, father. Yesterday, for a daughter-in-law you approved of, you called me heartless, blind, and told me to leave. No air. Every word dripping with conviction. Now, one night later, Evelyn's the victim of a conspiracy, and suddenly your blind son sees clearly again. The inheritance is mine again? Your definitions of family and fortune are elastic, aren't they? Comments went wild. Damn, going for the jugular. Tongue sharper than a blade. Old man roasting. Reverse psychology level. Expert. My father's breath grew heavy. Ungrateful brat. I am your father. Indeed, I agreed. Which makes your actions even more interesting. A father who defends a stranger over his own son, without hearing an explanation, without hesitation. Loyalty's touching. The truth is out. A few words about blood can't undo yesterday. The water's been spilled. You can't scoop it back up. The moment you pushed me away, I stopped being a Blackwood. Adopt Evelyn as your daughter for all I care. Just leave me out. I'm fine on my own.
Comments.
BOM. Logic bomb. Old man has no ground to stand on. Damien rejecting emotional manipulation. Crystal clear clarity. But, Evelyn? A long silence. Then, Evelyn's voice, raw and steady, broke through. Damien, can we talk? Just us. Comments exploded. Evelyn makes the first move. Say yes, Damien. Reconciliation countdown started. From courthouse to courthouse, go. I laughed softly, the sound sharp over the line. Talk about what? How pitiful you were, deceived for 3 years. How I was finally vindicated. How we should now cherish each other and mend our broken mirror. Save it, Evelyn. I signed the papers. So did you. My father kicked me out. You stood by and let him. In your mind, I was the cruel, blind monster who tormented you for 3 years.
You hated me.
You ran. And you weren't wrong. The man who hurt you had this face, this name. That man is dead. I inherited his debt, and I paid my price. We're even. Don't feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for the original Damien, the fool who loved you but was manipulated into destroying everything.
He's gone.
We killed him together. As for me, I don't hate you. I owe you nothing. And I certainly don't want your pity. It's like a song says, I'm sending you away, 1,000 miles. Your apology is a weight I refuse to carry.
No.
We're not talking. Goodbye, ex-wife. Stay away from scumbags in the future. I hung up, then blocked my father's number. Quiet settled over the world like a sharp, clean wind. Comments erupted. Reconciliation failed. Triple rejection. He called her ex-wife. Cold. Inherited his debt. Tragic yet epic. Groveling arc? More like get away from me arc. Damien nuked the entire plot. Evelyn must be confused beyond words. I tossed the phone aside. Sunlight spilled across the floor. Freedom was crisp, intoxicating, and mine. Comments still scrolled. Damien. Ruthless and glorious. The big reveal was supposed to be happy, but this? Masterclass sad ending. Evelyn. Who do I even cry to now? Plot twist. Need to speak to the writer. A few days later, my phone buzzed relentlessly. Vance Industries had collapsed, stock down 90%, key projects seized, funding frozen. Idris Vance was under investigation for corporate fraud and embezzlement. Vivian Sterling wasn't faring any better. A torrent of incriminating photos and recordings surfaced, tying her to blackmail and extortion. Her family declared bankruptcy. She melted down publicly, spiraling into chaos. Comments lit up with glee. Swift and brutal. Evelyn delivered the coup de grace. Queen energy. Idris's toast. Vivian is finished. Full revenge thriller mode activated. Damien should be watching this unfold. A knock at my apartment door interrupted the chaos. It was Evelyn. Pale, but her eyes were no longer empty. There was a quiet calm now, and something sharper I couldn't quite name. Can we talk? She asked. Not about getting back together. I stepped aside, letting her in. Comments. She's here. Not about romance? Then what? He let her in. Does this mean hope? Something's different. She stood in the center of the room. Idris is done. Vivian is ruined. My father, Mr. Blackwood, made the first move. I supplied the proof. I said, filling a glass with water. It's all out now, she continued. The miscarriage. Vivian bribed the doctor and a maid to fake the records. Idris funded the scheme and created situations to make it look like we were having an affair. I know. We were, she hesitated, locking eyes with me. We were fools. I raised an eyebrow. Kept in the dark, hurting each other for 3 years, she admitted with a bitter smile. 2 puppets on a string. Loving the wrong way, hating the wrong people. Comments. Evelyn finally woke up. My heart aches for these idiots. Hug her, Damien. Time to heal now that the truth is out. I just dared. And, she echoed, confused. And so Evelyn, I interrupted. You're calling us fools, not me. She blinked. You think because we were deceived we should embrace and start over? Sentimentality doesn't erase reality. The pain was real. The miscarriage was real. The divorce was real. Your hatred was real. My leaving was real. Comments.
Ouch.
Cold. Not wrong, though. Damien, king of brutal honesty. Evelyn, tears forming. I didn't give her time to respond. You say we loved each other? Are you sure? The old Damien loved you, in a twisted, possessive, idiotic way. But you? After everything? Did you still love him? No, you hated him. Now that Damien is dead, I'm not him. I don't hate you, but I don't love you either. My only connection to you is a duty to fix that idiot's mess. That duty is complete. We're even. As for you, I said, meeting her pale gaze, stop acting like love is the only thing that matters. It isn't. Stop living in the past. It's meaningless. Look forward.
Live.
Warm meals and a stable life can be more dependable than romance.
Comments.
Wait, is Damien a philosopher now? Hot meals love. Evelyn, what even is happening? Zen mode activated. Groveling arc? More like monk arc. Evelyn stood there, her confusion slowly morphing into something like clarity. She studied me as though I were a stranger. Finally, she asked softly, "What do you want now?" I gave a faint, fleeting smile. I want to be left alone.
3 meals a day.
Peace and quiet. Freedom. And to be as far away from all of you complicated people and your drama as possible.
Comments.
The ultimate goal. Chilled. Damien, retired from love. Evelyn, officially out of the running. Groveling script burned to ashes. She said nothing more, only gave a small nod of understanding, and left.
Comments.
She's given up. Best outcome. They live their own lives. Damien. Finally, solitude achieved. The strangest happily ever after ever. The trashy romance hero achieved enlightenment. A couple of years slipped by. Life was simple and good. My father never fully cut ties, and the assets I had secured were more than enough to start fresh. I never returned to Blackwood Corporation. Instead, I launched my own investment firm. Luck and instinct were on my side. My fortune doubled, then doubled again. Money ceased to be a concern.
My time was mine.
My mind was clear. I traveled, learned to dive, hit the slopes. Some days, I simply sprawled on my balcony with a book, letting the sun soak me through and through. No one to answer to, no drama to navigate. Just quiet. From time to time, at unavoidable industry events, I would run into Evelyn. She had grown into a formidable presence at Blackwood Corp, personally mentored by my father. Gone was the pale, haunted woman from my memories. In her place stood a powerhouse, confident, commanding, unstoppable. Our first encounter was across a crowded room. Eyes met, we nodded, and went our separate ways. The second time, at a cocktail party, she approached. "A word," she asked. "You too," I replied, raising my glass. Small talk followed, market trends, business news, then we drifted apart. We were like colleagues who remembered each other without the weight of history. The past remained unspoken. The occasional commentary flickered through my mind. Damien's looking hotter. Freedom suits him. Evelyn is thriving. Total queen energy. They're both doing amazing. Power couple vibes. What a shame. Shame? They're both thriving. This is a happy ending. One evening, at another gala, Evelyn found me near the bar. A word. We stepped onto the terrace. Night air, crisp and calm. She leaned against the railing, studying me. "Damien," she said, a small smile playing on her lips, "you're very attractive now." I raised an eyebrow. "Is that so? Must be the money." "No," she shook her head. "It's your energy." "My energy?" "The energy of not caring," she explained, eyes on the city lights. "You're untethered, clear-headed,
Free.
You know what you want. That's appealing. You didn't have that before." The old version was needy and insecure, I shrugged. She didn't argue.
Yes.
This works better. We lingered in silence for a few more moments. No one needed to talk about her, my father, or the company. We were both thriving, and that alone was enough. "Getting cold," I said.
Yes.
"Back inside," she agreed. We returned to the ballroom, two paths briefly intersecting before flowing smoothly back to their own courses. Final comments drifted across my vision. And that's a wrap. Damien carved his own happy ending. Evelyn is living her best life. Unexpected, but satisfying. The redemption arc turned into a permanent vacation. Bravo, Damien. Freedom reigns. Life continued. Sun bright, wind free. I drove down a coastal highway with no destination, windows down, the salt air on my face, humming along to an old song on the radio. The sky above was wide, clear, infinite.